Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is. And like I said on my last video, I understand like people, like to say about the whole falling off, and I don't really think I fell off. I think that my views are not up to par because I don't really upload. But that's not what I wanted to get into. That's past. I ain't really tripping on it. It is what it is. But first and foremost, man, shout out to Too Grimy for TV, Too Grimy for radio, Too Grimy period. Shout out to my West Veteran. Shout out to Best Kept Secrets. Shout out to all those that really been supporting, really been, putting your boy down on bread and everything, like hooking me up with these gigs and, what I mean, and putting me in a position to where I can meet dudes that can possibly take me to the next level if I choose to go that route. And for those that might benefit off of it, shout out to, because hooking me up puts them in a position to come up as well. But the whole reason I'm making this video is because I noticed this dude David, he's a singer, got real famous off his songs. A lot of his songs are like dark. They flirt with romanticizing death as far as like in a relationship, but it's more to it than that. But on the surface level, that's what people would see. Oh, he's just a clever way of talking about death, but he really goes a lot deeper than that. Like if you read behind his words, it's a lot of hate. I mean, a lot of anger, a lot of hurt, a lot of things go into it, and people tend to romanticize that because in this day and age, a lot of people, even though it's not like a new thing, but a lot of people in this day and age, they feel it, they gravitate to it because there's a lot of mostly unstable people. Not to say that they're the only ones that pay attention to what this dude does, but it's just there's a real disconnect amongst a lot of older people and their children, because a lot of them don't really get them the way a lot of these singers that can bridge that gap get them. Is they talk to their soul in a way because they pretty much identify with the stuff that's actually disturbing people nowadays. But with that being said, and that's another way of also being able to groom those who are a lot younger than you. So the whole reason I made this video is because there's more argument over different races and which race messes with underage girls more than the other. You know what I mean? Which it made no sense, because even though this dude is black, it had nothing to do with anything else outside of the fact that this dude is who he is. And the fact that the girl that came up missing is no older than 15 years old, and that when he started interacting with her, she was 13, and that's a disconnect I'm talking about, because I know back in the days it wasn't really looked upon as a bad thing. It was one of those out of sight, out of mind things. That's how a lot of people saw it. So in a lot of cases, a lot of people that had babies at a young age with older dudes or younger dudes having babies with older women, and as long as the family was cool with it, it didn't really matter. Now society has changed in a lot of different ways, still accepting of certain things, but it's more one of those things where people are more willing to put it out in the open, and mostly for shock value, entertainment purposes, and to get clicks and views, because it's a monetary thing. People want to make money off of people's grief and pain, not really paying attention to the fact that the family is the one that's going to suffer in the end. Now, I'm not going to get on here, I'm not going to get on here and I'm not going to pander for the family and say that people should respect the fact that they're hurting. Maybe the people that didn't give her birth, I could see fitting it, but for the ones that gave her birth, shame on you, because you knew that your daughter was dealing with this dude and he was already of age. There's no excuse for that. At 13 years old, I don't know what's going on, dude. I don't know if it was one of those things people needed money. I don't even want to put that out there, but people should be ashamed of themselves. And I know it's not a time. Go out there. I know it's not a time to really be pointing fingers at anybody outside of the person. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that dude was responsible for her coming up missing and for her untimely demise, but he should be to blame for a lot of things, especially being a 20-year-old man messing with a 15-year-old. Like that's what should be the sole focus. That should be the main focus. The fact that he was of age. This was a child that he was dealing with, and somehow or some way family members should be held accountable for that. Because I could just imagine my daughter is now in her 20s. I could just imagine her at 13 dealing with a 20-year-old and me being all right with it. It would never happen. Even if I was incarcerated, found out, I would have got out of jail, put him in a box, and would have went right back to prison, because it's just not tolerated. There's certain levels to stuff, and don't get me wrong, it's not nothing new. This dude Brandon or whatever from No Jumper, he made an argument about school. I've seen every race do it. I've seen white dudes pull up and pick up underage high-nos at the junior high. Nobody really paid attention to it. See, the dudes would always be like, these fools are lowlifes. The females would just be like, outside of the ones that really were like conscious about the fact that it was wrong, a lot of them would applaud it. They're like, good job. You got new kicks. He buying you bracelets. He buying you all this. Like, good job. That's how you didn't want to be the hot girl dating the regular cat in junior high. You wanted to deal with the dudes in high school and college and stuff like that. That's how they seen it. So that's why they applauded it. So, but the thing is, like, for the family to accept that and be like, I don't know where my daughter's at, but she's 13 and her boyfriend is, like, you seen pictures, you seen it was all over social media with them hugged up and doing content together, same tattoos, everything. And she told you that her boyfriend's name was David. At 13, your boyfriend, what? Who is he, for one? I don't allow it, but who is he? Because I want to meet him. For various reasons, I'm gonna make sure that he is who he say he is, and he ain't one of these groomers or one of these weird PDFs. Hey, like, I need to know who he is. Most likely because I'm about to bust him in his mouth if he's too old for my daughter, or just warn him like, yeah, she don't have no boyfriends, and run him off. And if I catch you again, your parents gonna have to come fight for you. I'm gonna put hands on you. It ain't tolerated. Focus on school and college and getting a good job and moving out. All that, I'm 13 and I need a boyfriend, ain't happening. Everybody's entitled to do it the way they want. Me, and personally, my kids, mom, like, yeah, it wasn't happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't happening. So I didn't have to worry about that. But yeah, I just don't get it. Like, people's focus is on what other people used to do. It should be on this dude. Regardless of the fact if this dude is responsible for her death or not, it might not even be the case. I'm not really too focused on that, because I'm not no private investigator. I'm not trying to do the cop's job. They will figure it out in time, whether he was involved or he wasn't. And if he was involved and he gets busted, that's just him. If he was involved and he gets away, that's just him. Karma's a bit, it'll visit you eventually. The thing that people should really be focused on, and this is the thing, people, and I know I'm gonna have my haters come on here and be like, that's somebody else's business. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because what if it was your daughter and she's dating a 20-year-old and she's 13 years old, or even if she's 15 and this fool's in his 20s? And I know there's people that do it, but if you ever get caught and get busted, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna unalive you, because it's not tolerated. And yeah, I've heard the whole thing, like, look, you know what you're doing. If you ever, because this has been in different volumes, I know, like, even in my neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, you've had dudes that were a little bit older dating these high-nos, and they've got warrants. Look, dude, it don't matter if she's only 2 or 3 years younger than you. If you get caught for it, you know the consequences. That's it. When you're young, we don't really trick her. We don't know no better. We just hanging out in the vodka, drinking and doing our thing. But you've had other fools that would tell them, like, look, fool, you know it ain't feeding, man. If you get cracked, it's on. Like, you know what you got coming. You can't come back to the bottom with that nothing. Once you get that label, you're done. And some fools have took that chance and got busted, and then they were no good no more. So with that being said, it should never come down to which race did it more. It should come down to the fact that this dude is the age he is and dealing with minors. So if he groomed her, just imagine how many other people that are probably in the cut that he's groomed. And when I say he groomed, I mean it, because anybody that's willing to go on and like talk about when she gets a certain age, I'm gonna marry her and this is wifey, you get the same tattoos, you got her in all your little streams, and then you want them to erase the streams. Like, dude, she's a 13-year-old. The family should look, dude. I could go in on you, but I understand, dude. Grief is grief, and I ain't gonna cause no more. But I'm gonna tell you, if a dude ever thought that he could ever do that and have my daughter at his house, like, his parents are asking for him to get unalived. Like, I'm gonna put you in the trunk somewhere and send you to somewhere that nobody gonna find you, because you knew the consequences of getting involved with an underage child. Because as a child, a lot of these chicks that age don't even know how to clean themselves right, let alone have a boyfriend. You're still wet behind the ears, still smell like pee. Like, it's yeah, you can just see in their mannerism the way they act. At that age, they don't have the mental capacity to really understand that they just going off raw emotions. Everything is racing, hormones are racing. You got this fool that's a singer and got a little bit of got major clarity, and he's focusing on you, or maybe your situation at home, but it's stuff like that. But still, dude, the family should have, and then the simple fact that she's Hispanic, I'm surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen other stuff like in Mexico and this and that, and people allowing people to get married at a certain age, and then there's other things like as long as you get married, like, and it's not talked about. But it's surprising to know that they would allow some dude that's of another race just really to trip me out to disappear with their daughter at the age she was, and have no consequence for him. Like I'm saying, he would have ran into like me, my family, my brothers, my cousins, my relatives, my uncles. He would have got beat on. Like, they would have literally pulled up to his house and stumped him out. She would have got snatched out by her hair and would have went right back home. And every time she thought about disappearing, would have got her snatched up again. He would have got missing. If you don't keep her from continue to come back to you, you gonna go somewhere. Like, that's all I can really say on that, because that's how you treat pedophiles. You treat groomers the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, privately castrate these fools. Like, it's now think about it, and I'm just gonna end it like this. Now, just then stay right here. Due to the lack of accountability and morals, now she's no longer coming home. So she done lost her life at 15 to somebody, and you may not never know. Like, that should haunt people. Like, that should really haunt you. And people that take it personal, that may be related to her, this comes with the territory. You got people that's gonna brutally just talk bad about her the whole time, dude. It should have not happened. He should have never had that much comfortability to have her all on social media as his girlfriend when he's already of age and she's still 13, 14, 15. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Pay more attention to the fact that he was a grown man dealing with a child, regardless of whether he had anything to do with her coming up missing and dismembered. He was dealing with a child. Huh?
It's nasty.
Yeah, it probably is. Water? Oh yeah, you need that water. See? And my son, like, I couldn't imagine somebody, like, it's just, yeah. People got to do better. Anybody talking, bringing race up and who got the most likely to deal with minors, it's just weirdos. Talk about the problem at hand. Deal with the problem at hand. Address the problem at hand. Don't bring all this other stuff in it. It always has to revert back to race. Don't be black and talk about it's more Hispanics, and don't be Hispanic talking about it's more blacks. Whites, they gonna do what they want, especially the racist one. But talk about your people. Don't talk about nobody else's. Address your people. Don't address nobody else's. Don't try to take the focus off your people by implicating somebody else or something that you saw. If you saw it, then you should have did something about it. And if you know who did it, then do something about it. If you're one of them social justice warriors, because personally, I've seen Chester's in jail and they've got dealt with. So if you really didn't deal with it, you know what I'm saying? But don't utilize other races in order to make your case. It was your people that did it, fine. And not even your people, one person in particular. One person. You know what I'm saying? So don't involve nobody else. I hate that. That's just weird. You know what I mean? That doesn't make your case. That just means that you're trying to redirect it so people don't put so much focus on the fact that it was one of you that did it. R. Kelly did what he did. That don't reflect on all blacks. That just reflect on R. Kelly. Man, make it make sense. Anyway, I'm your boy Zod, and I'm out.